All right, if you clicked on this video, you're probably trying to get into high ticket sales. You're trying to get more info on it, see if it's a good industry for you. So I basically compiled some of the top questions that people have on this industry, and I'm going to be answering them truthfully, unlike these other gurus that you see online that are saying they're making $100,000 a month as a high ticket closer. I'm going to give you guys the actual truth about the industry and answer some of the top requested questions that people have on it. If you guys are not familiar with me or have not known my story, I've gone from literally working at a restaurant 1 year ago to making over $30,000 to $40,000 a month in pure commissions as a closer. I've tracked my entire process. I've hired hundreds of sales reps for different massive influencers as well, so I know a lot about this industry in and out. You guys can scroll to the bottom of my YouTube. I've tracked my journey from being dead broke as a server to making over $400,000 a year as a high ticket sales rep. So I know this industry pretty well. So watch this video. It's going to kind of break down whether this industry is for you. If it's not for you, just take notes on it. So I posted a poll on my Instagram. Follow my Instagram if you guys don't already. I do stuff like this a lot. And I said, give me questions on high ticket sales that you guys have been wondering. So we're going to start off with number one with what is high ticket sales? So high ticket sales is basically becoming a sales rep for an influencer that sells a product over $3,000. So any of those people you see online like Tony Robbins, Tai Lopez, so all those influencers you see online selling masterminds, courses, products, anything that you see that's over $3,000, you're basically becoming a sales rep. So high ticket sales is basically selling those products on behalf of an influencer and then getting commission on it. The reason these people need high ticket sales reps is because they don't have enough time to take calls and answer all the leads that actually want to buy the products because they're too busy making content and stuff like that. So they basically hire commission-based sales reps to go through all the leads, collect their payments, handle their objections, and get a commission on everything I sell. The reason this works for them is because it's incentive based, so they don't lose any money if they hire a high ticket sales rep. They have tons of leads coming in every single day that are super warm, so they don't need to directly talk to the influencer because they've already watched so much content from them. So they basically just need a little bit of a push over an edge and then you can get a sale. All right, question number two is, do I need experience to start in high ticket sales? So this is a really common question I get. And if there was a tier list of most important attributes to getting hired as a high ticket sales rep, experience would be on the lower half. The top things that they look for is coachability, communication, not having an ego, and actually just be willing to work hard. If you are willing to work hard, you're well spoken, you don't have an ego, they're going to hire you 10 times over than the guy that actually has experience but has an ego, thinks he's too good. So you don't actually need sales experience to start. What you really need is, and write this down if you guys don't already, you need to number one, be coachable, you need to be well spoken, you need to communicate well, and you need the ability to follow a proven framework, which goes along with coachability. This is the same reason I was able to go from zero experience in sales to making over $10,000 within 3 months of this industry. It's just because I was coachable and I was willing to look at what the top guys were doing and replicate it. Sales is one of those things that it's like, if you're a natural extrovert or you're somewhat well spoken, you can crush it in this industry just because you're dealing with warm leads. These leads are not cold, you're not door knocking, you are literally just dealing with people that already want a specific product. They opted in to buy it, you just handle their objections and sell them into it. So no, you definitely don't technically need experience. Obviously it helps if you do have a little bit of sales experience, but if you're somewhat well spoken, coachable, willing to work hard, and have an open availability, this is going to be for you. It is so easy to see results in this industry. All right, question number three, is it realistic to make 10K your first month as an appointment setter with warm leads? So as much as I would like to say yes, realistically no. I know a lot of gurus online say I make $150K a month doing this. On average, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of sales reps get in this game. Out of the 320 people I've personally helped get onto offers, you're probably not going to make 10K your first month. On average, from everyone we've seen come into this industry, the average profit you're going to see your first month is anywhere from like 2.5 to 4K, which realistically isn't that much money, but that's that little window that can get you out of your job and end up doing this full time. My first month as a setter, I made $3,000 and that was just enough to cover my rent to go all in on this. And within 3 months, I was making over 10K. So if you're the type of person that's looking for a guaranteed 10K a month, got some unfortunate news for you. No business model is really going to be able to do that for you. You're just getting sold a dream online and people aren't actually being truthful about how much you can make. So realistically, what you can expect is probably around 2.5 to 4K your first month. Question four, do I need to be good at talking? Yes. If you are not a well-spoken person, this industry probably is not for you. If you cannot articulate your words in some sort of decent way and you just sound like an AI bot, people probably don't want to talk to you and don't want to buy from you. Being well-spoken was the only attribute that got me from 0 to 10K within 3 months. And I think that, in my personal opinion, is the most important attribute. So if you don't think you're very well-spoken, if you stutter a lot, even I still struggle with this, but just work on it every day. Every single time you guys are like in an elevator with someone random, start a conversation, try to speak as much as you can. When you're reading a book, read it out loud. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just do anything you can to try to get more well-spoken, because that skill set's not only going to help you in this industry, but just in life in general. The people that are really well-spoken tend to do a lot better things in life. I mean, that is a massive trait I would highly recommend you guys get super good at. You don't have to be like the smoothest talker, but you have to be somewhat well-spoken, yes. From what age can you start closing? All right, so this is kind of a blurry one because it really depends on what offer you're on and what position you're doing. I've seen sales reps such as DM setters as young as 15 years old make 15 to 20K a month. So obviously that's a rare case scenario that doesn't happen to everyone, but you can do this at pretty much whatever age you want because there's so many positions you can apply for. So a DM setter is basically a sales rep in the DM DMs. So you're basically logging into the influencer's DM and you're selling people through text. So it doesn't really matter what age you are, as long as you're somewhat good at texting people, which a lot of young people are. You can make a lot of money through commission. Realistically, this industry is for any age. It's going to be a little bit tougher if you're on the younger side, but you can definitely make it work. But 18 plus is a gold mine, especially older people. If you're watching this, if you're like 35 plus, there's a huge demand for closers that are like over 35. I had a guy hit me up recently. He personally told me he would pay me $1,000 for every single closer that I found him that was over the age of 30. That's how desperate they are to find sales reps that are good over the age of 30. And these sales reps are making 10 to 20K a month. Like, it's not like a small amount of money that they're making. It's just a lot of older people don't realize this industry is here. They don't think it's real. They think it's a scam. So if you're watching this and you're over the age of 30, I highly recommend you get into this industry. All right, question number 5. How did you first get your job? So I first got my job. I got kind of lucky, I would say. I don't really want to say luck is a huge thing. I was kind of in the right place at the right time. While I was working at a restaurant, I would always look up like online business, how to make money. And I heard about appointment setting before, but I never really believed it. But I had a buddy that I knew that was actually doing it, and he was making a little bit of money. So I kind of texted him, and he luckily was cool enough to put me on and kind of help me get my first offer. He kind of trained me up. He helped me. I think he was making like $8,000 a month as an appointment setter. So he was crushing it in my eyes. I was only making like 2.5, 3K a month at my serving job. So I was like, dude, you got to teach me. And I think the only reason he kind of took me under his wing is because he saw how committed I was. Like, the second that he put me on that job, I was working every single second of every single day that I could. And I think he respected that a lot. He could see that I really, really, really wanted it. Once I got that position, once I finally got hired as a setter, he kind of trained me up for like a week and a half, just showed me the script, and I was like, all right, let me dial. Like, I'm ready to dial. I wasn't really too keen on just doing like mock calls and stuff, because I just wanted to pick up the phone, because I knew that that's how you actually get good, is getting real life scenarios. So the second that I started picking up the phone, within my first day, I actually got my first sale. I made $75 in commission. I sold a $1,500 package. And after that, it was completely wraps. I was absolutely addicted to it. And every single day I'd wake up and just try to get sales. And I feel like that's the kind of mindset that you have to have as well. So you have to have the mindset of like, you need to be the top performer. Like, there can't be anyone else that's doing more volume than you if you want to be the best. If you just want to do it part-time, whatever, you can do that. But if you want to be a top performer and really make it happen, you got to put in more reps than everybody else. What's the difference between a setter and a closer? Okay, it's one of those beginner questions as well. You guys have probably seen on Instagram or YouTube that says, fill out your first name, email, number if you guys want access to like a free training or something like that. So all the people that put their first name, email, number, it goes into a sheet, and the setter's job is to call all of those numbers of the people that wanted to buy whatever product you were selling and basically financially qualify them and make sure that they show up to a closing call. The setter basically just qualifies and disqualifies people that are actually serious about buying the product and moves them on to the next step, which is collecting payment. So they don't actually collect the payment. They book them a call with a closer. The closer collects the payment. So to answer the second part of the question, so a setter does phone calls, a closer does Zoom call, they do a face-to-face call, they handle their objections, and their whole entire job is to collect the payment on that call. So the setters only get paid if the closer does their job. So the closer is a lot more of a stressful position, which is why they get paid double commissions. Closers get paid 10%, setters get paid 5%. So if a closer closes a $5,000 deal, they get $500, the setter gets $250, and the influencer gets the rest. So it's a great gig. I recommend every person tries to move up to closer at some point. It took me about 2 months to become a closer full time. So I was a setter for about 2 months, understood the whole process of setting, and then I became a closer. So I recommend everyone starts as a setter, understands it in and out, and then becomes a closer. So yeah, setter's a great position to start off of, and then closer is something to work to. What does a typical day look like as a high ticket sales rep? I'll actually give you guys an example visually. Let's use a fitness program for example. So let's just say a fitness influencer posted a story that says, if you guys want to get jacked before summer, fill out this form. I'll teach you guys how to do it. Every person that fills out that form is going to get sent in some sort of little list like this. I'll put a screenshot on the screen if you guys can't see it, but it's basically just a list of numbers and people that have opted in. So your job is to call all of the people that have opted in and try to financially qualify them and book them a call with the closer. So your job is to book 4 to 6 qualified appointments from this pipeline every single day for the closers. The closer's job is to communicate with the setter, see how many calls they have up on the calendar, make sure they have the notes on them, hop on with them for about 30 to 45 minutes, go through the script, and try to collect their payment on that call. So it's very simple. Your whole entire day is going to be communicating with people, calling people, making sure everything is good, and just collecting cash. That's basically your entire job. Is you are a cash collector. You are a sales rep on behalf of an influencer. This is not some get-rich-quick thing. It requires a lot of caffeine. It requires a lot of dedication, but the money definitely compensates you for it. There's days where I've closed $20,000 in a single day. I was making $2,000 in commission. There's been days where we've absolutely crushed it. So the money 100% compensates. I don't know any other job in the entire world that can pay you that much money without even doing fulfillment, because once you collect the payment, the influencer does the fulfillment. So you do absolutely nothing except collect the payment. I don't know a single job that is easier than that, but as long as you get the skill set down, it's like free money. What is the best niches to sell for in high ticket sales? All right, So if you guys don't know what I do now, I'm basically a recruiter. So I work for a bunch of influencers and I help them hire different sales reps. That's how I'm able to get so many people onto high ticket sales jobs. We hire for over like 160 different influencers every single month. So the best niches that I've seen that do the most revenue per month is number one is going to be trading. Trading offers do absolutely crazy. I don't know if it's because it's a trend right now, but as of right now, trading offers go absolutely insane. Also, right now, currently, I've seen any sort of AI offer. AI offers go ridiculous. So basically teaching people how to implement AI into their business is really good. Any sort of marketing agency is super good to sell for. Any sort of lead gen offer is really good to sell for. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the personal brand. So if you're selling for someone like these guys on the screen, they have such a massive personal brand that it's going to help you get more sales rather than selling for someone with like 2,000 followers. So rather than the niche that you should be looking at, the niches I named are really, really good, but the personal brand is the most important thing. If anyone has a cult-like following, for example, let's just say Elon Musk dropped a mentorship program talking about how to start like successful companies. It doesn't matter what that man is selling. He's going to get so many sales because of the trust and authority he has with the world. So the personal brand is a lot more important than the niche. So make sure that whatever personal brand or whatever person you're trying to work for has a cult-like audience. All right, what is the best way to land your first offer and what is the best way to tell a good one from a bad one? Okay, so best way to land your first offer is number one, you can get lucky like I did and kind of have someone that was already in the industry and kind of put you on. Lucky scenario, I'm very, very blessed to have that happen. Or you can join some sort of placement agency or program. But the best way to tell a good offer from a bad one, I actually have a full like 30-minute video breaking this down. I'll link it down below. But just to kind of summarize it is number one, strong personal brand like I was talking about earlier. Number two is going to be they're doing at least $200,000 a month in revenue. If they're doing less than that, it's going to be hard for you to make a lot of commissions because you're only making a small percent. So if they're only doing like $20,000, $30,000 a month in revenue, you're really not going to be making that much in commission. So if you want to hit those $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, you need an offer that's doing more than 100, 200K a month. And the third thing is they have like a cult-like following. So as long as they have a strong personal brand and they're doing over 200K a month, that's a pretty solid offer. The way to actually land those roles, you can either get lucky and know someone in a network, or you can join some sort of placement agency like one we have at Paid in Full. All the influencers that we hire for, massive influencers that do over 200,000 bucks a month. We have a placement program that basically trains you up in high ticket sales, gives you the scripts, gives you everything you need from A to Z to actually understand the industry in and out. And then we place you directly on an offer. So we have over 160 offer owners that we hire for every single month. You'll get access to interview and work for those influencers once you go through our training. So it's pretty much guaranteed you get on a job. We've helped over like 300 people do this. So that's an easy way if you just want to buy your way into it. But the other way is just doing cold outreach, DMing people, emailing people, and just hope you get lucky. I have a full video on how to land an offer for free on this channel as well. I think it's like 3 or 4 videos down. You guys can check out too. But yeah, those are the 2 best ways. And then what's a good way to transition from setter to closer? So anytime everyone asks me this, the best way to transition from setter to closer is make it a no-brainer for the offer owner or the sales manager. When it comes to that point, which it comes to every single point in an offer owner, when they need to hire more closers, the first people they're going to look at is their setters. They're going to be like, all right, what setters are we going to move up to closer? And if you are by far the top performing setter, it only makes sense for you to move up to closer. So the quickest way to move up from setter to closer is be just so obviously the top performing setter. And the best way to do that is by look at the current top performing setter. So if you just got hired on an offer as a sales rep, look at the top performing setter, look at what he's doing, listen to his call reviews, understand every single part of the process that he's doing, and just copy it and do double the volume. So if he's doing 50 dials a day, you do 100 dials a day. If he does 100, you do 200. And there's no possible way you won't beat him because you are literally copying his process that works and then doubling the volume. That's exactly what I did with zero experience to become the top setter. I just looked at the top performer, copied exactly what he did, and then just doubled the volume. And then it only made sense that I was going to be the top performer. All right, and the last question I'm going to answer is give some gold advice about sales and human persuasion. Okay, the number one way to sell, in my opinion, is the concept that people don't like to be told what to do. They like to tell themselves what to do, okay? So ego is just such an abundant thing in everyone's world. That's how we operate as humans, is ego. Ego is how we keep ourselves safe. It's how we keep our mental sane. Ego is a massive, massive thing in the world, and it really hurts people's ego when someone tells them what to do, okay? So the best concept that I've ever learned in sales is basically asking probing questions to get the people to say that they're not in a current situation that they want to be in. So let's just say you're selling a program that helps someone make more money. You just ask like, all right, what revenue are you at right now? And they say, oh, okay, about 15K a month. And if you come in there and say something like, oh, 15K a month, you know, people in our program are making 50K a month. That's super low. Like we could help you get to 50K a month pretty quickly. That's telling them what they want to hear. It comes off as scammy. You're like raising sales resistance and you're just telling them something rather than getting them to actually say it themselves. So instead of saying something like that, if they say, you know, I'm at 15K a month, just be like, okay, I mean, where do you ideally want to be in the next 6 to 12 months? You know, a little bit higher than that, probably 30, 35K, 15K to 30K. What do you feel like is holding you back? And then they're going to open up. Like, I haven't done the studying. I haven't done the work that I need to do. And you're basically getting them to open up and say the reasons why they aren't at where they want to be, rather than just telling them to join the program and they're going to make more money. You need to get them to open up and actually tell you why they're not at that number, so you have enough ammo to shoot back at them when you're trying to pitch them. And so my whole career, that's kind of the fundamental concept I've sold off of, and a lot of people do as well. You just ask probing questions to get them to open up, to actually let them understand that they have a problem instead of telling them they have a problem. And then the last question I'm going to answer is high ticket sales saturated? So no, high ticket sales is not saturated. Okay, every single day you guys see influencers pop up left and right, fitness influencers, business influencers, entrepreneurs. All these people are starting to post content because they know that's the future, and all those people are going to need high ticket sales reps. So it's not saturated, it's actually in demand. There are more businesses needing closers than absolutely ever. So if you can give a full effort, become a really good trained closer for info products, you're going to make a disgusting amount of money and won't have to work a 9 to 5. If there's any questions you guys have that I did not answer, put it in the comments down below. I'll either answer it myself or cover it in the next video. But if you're serious about getting in the industry and you want a guaranteed high ticket sales role, click the link down below. I have a guaranteed placement and training program, and I'll show you exactly how to start. I'll even put some of the offers that we're currently hiring for. So if you feel like you'd be a good fit in any of these niches, click the second link down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. All we do is talk about high ticket sales content on this channel. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.